Fast forward, you come our channel so Shannon say how say AGH Politics Avenue. Only a political source of training make headlines. Nigeria now EDB Exumo, and EDM Raximu, and AD Kanyas. Subscribe to the channel edit for me. Now, Mr. say young political highways in the Munia Yedema and Azam Kotwakra. Now, Yako court, Kwabena adu Boahene. Itimi eko PMO court ene. Na judge or turn a seminal sono. Abo born in orchestra hold me no be a to a gua. Medu era in seminim. Now at this point in time, the lawyer also a jemre ekasai, and also Yabefe and Samahodwa, the lawyer no if you go after court proceedings, Aha AGH Politics Avenue. Yan sembre yemura story nim yenhwene kwani dieba.
Lawsuit against JA Plant Pool and Dr. Joseph Siao Ajipong. Let's stay in the courts because the Court of Appeal has dismissed the request for disclosures of national security accounts from 1992 to date to lawyers of former National Signals Bureau. The court also upheld the request by the defense lawyers regarding the intended purpose of the 49.1 million cedis. Now, the former National Signals Bureau Director, Kwabena Boahene, and his wife, Angela Ejay Boateng, are facing multiple charges, including stealing, causing financial loss to the state, and money laundering. His lawyers appealed to the High Court's decision, dismissing their request for further disclosures of several documents from the Attorney General, which they cited will help their case. Lord Eduasari is our court correspondent, joining us with a bit more on this story. Lord, what else happened?
So basically, this decision by the Court of Appeal is born from that appeal that lawyers of the Kwabena Boahene and his wife filed in July last year. You recall that under presiding judge Eugene Yante, he dismissed their application for further disclosures from the Attorney General's office. Now, the Court of Appeal, three-member justice of the panel indicated that this appeal had succeeded in part. Now, key among the decision that it took was that there was the order for some 88 pages of the statement of accounts by the company belonging to Kwabena Boahene's wife to be made available to the defense. Now, there was also the order for disclosures of information of the source of 49.1 million to the defense as well. And then there was a disclosures order for file put together by the former National Security Coordinator Joshua Chairman. Now, the court ordered that it should also be made available to the defense lawyers. Now, when it came to the matter of the statements from the National Security bank accounts from 1992 to date, now the court indicated that that request was too broad and ambiguous and unclear, and so they did not grant that. They just indicated that the account that was in connection with the Boahene's trial should be made available. Now, one key thing that also came up was the order for the disclosure of whether the amount, which is the 49.1 million, was actually earmarked for the acquisition of the cybersecurity equipment. Now, this request was granted by the Court of Appeal. We spoke to the lawyer for Kwabena Boahene, Samuel Sacha. He gave his thoughts regarding the ruling, indicating that, among other things, they may appeal again or escalate the matter regarding the matters that did not go in their favor. But by and large, he was pleased with the development coming in.
I see. We know that lawyer for Kwabena Boahene spoke. What did he say?
Well, essentially, he was saying that with the orders of the court, they were pleased in the regard that the order for the Attorney General to disclose the documents regarding the source of the 49.1 million and whether the 49.1 million essentially was earmarked for the acquisition of cybersecurity equipment. That was a big matter which will go a long way to help the matter that they're trying to put before the court. And so he was pleased in that regard. But all other matters which did not go in their favor, he indicated that they may appeal.
Let's take a listen to lawyer Tacha.
Some very material disclosures should be brought to us, and that one of them, which is very consequential, is how the former National Security Coordinator should give us the purpose for the 49.1 million Ghana cedis, because he will understand why 49.1 million Ghana cedis was paid into that particular account. And we believe that that is very consequential. Again, the court said they will not give us the opportunity to enter the space of the national security to see whether the cyber security defense system is there. We have the humble view that they said because it's not too clear to them what we mean by that. We have the humble view that that is unfortunate and that we might want to look at and appeal relative to that. On the whole, the rest of the matters that they said, they were at large. For instance, national security coordinators, I think accounts from Rawlins's time to date, as well as the operatives, the names of the operatives and the assets they use for national security activities. They are unable to order disclosures. So we'll fetch the full complement of the decision and we'll take quality decisions as to what we should do to ensure fair trial and also secure an arrangement in which our clients are not shortchanged.
Okay, Council, as far as the the order for the disclosures of the national security account.
Lord Eduasare with that report. Thank you so much, Lord. Now, we'll now take you to Weja Bawe, where Armstrong Gold Alogbe has pitched camp already because the flooding situation there has worsened to prevent loss of lives or properties. Let's go live now to Armstrong Gold Alogbe, who has pitched camp around the Weja Dam to assess the level of waters that are coming from the dam at this point. Remember that this spillage is occurring because the dam needs to protect its integrity after 45 feet. So let's connect now with Armstrong. Armstrong, good afternoon to you. What's the situation there in Weja now?
So currently we've come to Tetegu, where the water has extended to now. Earlier we went to Weja, where the spillage itself started, and now the water has extended all the way to Tetegu and its environs. You see in pictures now, vehicles are unable to ply this road. That pickup you see in short is managing well. Someone just fell in a gutter, and that has been the situation here at Tetegu. There are no demarcations here. I'm not sure whether NADMO or any other security agencies have been here to cordon off portions of the road where we have open gutters. So people moving around are falling in the gutters here. And what I've also observed now is that electricity, ECG, has managed to take off the power. They've managed to cut power supply to this area, which is a very good step taken, because we've seen some electricity poles that have also fallen in the flood waters. So taking off the water light at this point is a very critical decision that they've taken. But beyond that, we are not seeing NADMO or any security agencies here to ensure that lives and properties are being protected here. I also saw many people carrying their belongings, moving from Tetegu to a place we call Kaswa, for instance. You see many more people now having to employ the service of Okada or motor riders to move them from where they are. Many people from that side, you see, are carrying few belongings to live where they are now. This young man and his brothers, you see, are also trying to move from this place, because I'm told if you go deep into the Tetegu community, the entire place has been flooded. More properties have been destroyed, and that place itself is supposed to be a water holding area, but people have managed to build in there. And that's what is leading to this flood right now. We are told this flood started some 3 days ago, but yesterday was when the impact was really felt. If you go close to the Weja Dam itself, where the community, where the spillage started from, that place is equally heavily flooded now, Kamini.
have become used to the spillage and then the flood that comes along with it. Are they aware that this could go on for several months, and Ghana Water Companies advising that they leave the area for safety?
Well, so Kameni, as it stands right now, you see that even though the Ghana Water Company says they've given notice since January that people should relocate from this place because they come to open the spillage, many people I spoke to here says they are not aware of this spillage. It just happened that 3 days ago they opened the spillage. Earlier I was engaging few of the residents here who explained to me that they don't have any information at all. All they saw was that the water was coming, trying to engage with few of the residents here to tell us about. Boss, let me talk to you. Okay, you will not talk to me. Well, he will not talk to you. But madam, where are you coming from?
Me wa ha Tetegu here na me.
Who are Tetegu here?
Aye.
Bra, me. Into who free never?
Me fear here, me shop wa here.
Na who fear net is saying?
Me fear na back akra ram sports no mu.
Around sports ni mu.
Mpacho ai.
Na say catch am say move free as
ya ka kire ye.
Omo kan la be.
Mati say announce. Say ye mfi ha nkoba ya so ye din ba ye beko.
David no catch am say move free as.
Anopa we kra na admofo na be.
Anopa we no mo kan.
Anopa we omo abeka wai.
Anopa we.
Ai.
Je say who coin?
Say me ko osu. Me fi osu nti.
Who fi osu?
Ai.
Nti before we na akosu. Yeah. Well, so she's ready to move out from this area to Osu, and she says this morning Nadmo was here to educate them about the dangers in staying here. Let me speak to this lady who happens to be here for quite some time.
I'm sure Golda Logbe with that report from Tetegu around the Weja Dam. Let's stay on this subject. Stanley Mate is head of communications for Ghana Water Limited. Stanley, good afternoon to you. We see that the spillage has begun. The community is starting to flood. How much water has been let out so far?
Okay, good afternoon and thanks for having me. And let me correct the spillage didn't just begin. Or we've been spilling since last year. Last year when we opened the field gate somewhere in May, we haven't closed it. We've been spilling all along to this morning. Except that this time we are seeing some heavy rain in recent times, and we are attached to that. And that is also compounding the problem. But it's not like we have just started spilling, no.
I see. Despite your warning to residents, they are still around in the neighborhood of the dam, as we have just seen in those videos. What else can we do to protect lives and properties at this time?
I think the best way to protect lives and property is for the people themselves to protect themselves. And we have been giving them a series of warnings on this issue, and they are still there. If they can't protect themselves, who else will? Okay, so if you live in an area or if you see fire and people are telling you that this fire will burn you, and you still go close, then it means that you have yourself to blame if it burns you. And that's exactly what is happening in the area. Our expectation is that they evacuate the area long before now, because every year we keep doing the same announcement. Every year we keep educating them, sensitizing them, and they're still living there. Now we're even seeing more structures being put up in the course of the river. They've gone beyond the buffer zone into the course of the river. So what else would we do? Okay, they have to protect themselves. The other aspect is that it is the district assembly that has the mandate to ensure that people do not put up structures at unauthorized areas. Okay, and then we still see these structures springing up every day. The Ghana Water Company hasn't got a mandate to stop anybody from putting up any structure. It is that of the district assembly, and it is for them to respond to these issues. Thank you.
Very well, Stanley, I understand when you say that spillages have been happening, but obviously this is a big one, flooding the community, particularly at this time when we're seeing a lot of rains as well.
It isn't the spillage that is causing the havoc. It is the flood as a result of the heavy rains that we've seen in recent times. It isn't the spillage. Because like I said, we've been spilling since last year. We haven't had anything. We haven't stopped any Since last year, we haven't stopped spilling. We've been spilling continuously. So I don't think it is as a result of the spillage. It is the heavy rains that have caused another crop flooding from other sources.
But to my question and the point I want to make, looking at your numbers, your water levels, are we likely to see a worsened situation in Tetegu and the likes?
Currently, all 5 gates are opened at maximum level. Okay, and we're still receiving more inflows into the dam. So it means that we'll be spilling. We'll keep spilling till the water gets to the safe operating level, which is around 45 feet. Currently, it's above 48 feet, which is the maximum operating level. And so we'll keep spilling till the water recedes to 45 feet and below.
Very well. Stanley, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for talking to us. Stanley Mate is Head of Communications at Ghana Water Limited. We'll stay on floods and rainwater because a heavy downpour has put the Sekondi Takoradi prison at the mercy of flood waters, which has run through inmate cells. Crisis officials are now blaming drainage engineering for the situation there. The Director of Prisons for Operations and Facility Management, Benedict Bob Derry, who paid an emergency visit to the facility, is calling on stakeholders to find a lasting solution. Meanwhile, Western Region Minister Joseph Nelson is pushing for relocation before the next downpour turns the prison into a death trap. Irama Smith reports.
While the prison points to the Takoradi Sekondi Road dualization, the construction firm Viabuild's Health and Safety Manager, Edward Lee Aflade, says the 1902 colonial facility itself needs a major redesign. The prison was built for 150 to 200 inmates, but now holds over 600.
The problem has to do with the redesigning of the drainage system in the prisons, because the little that we have seen and the quantum of water that stays there, because the inner drain, the one in your front, it's carrying some capacity or volumes of water into the outfall. The connecting ones, the pressure cannot push those front one out. So thereby it has to stay for the inner one to calm down, the current calm down before it can easily connect.
Director of Prisons for Operations and Facility Management, Benedict Bob Derry, who was at the facility to assess the situation, is demanding for an urgent and lasting solution from all stakeholders.
My observation at the place is that it looks like a bigger gutter has been created to run into a smaller one, and you know the situation where the water and just right in front of the prison gate. And I think that is where the problem is coming from. And at the back of the wall is also an exit point for water from the prison yard, which is a bit lower than the outside. So water from the outside that goes also runs into the yard, and it doesn't augur well for a facility such as a prison.
It is against this backdrop that the Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson is championing the prison's relocation before the next rains hit.
I'm not even saying it because of the situation at hand, the flood situation, but where it is, I think that it will be good to relocate to somewhere who have, space and will be far from, should I say, the community, so that at least you know that this is a secured environment, and it can be more secured if we have it somewhere far from, the city center as we have it now. I think that is something that we all have to push for.
Irama Smith, TV3 News, Sekondi.
We ain't some who do it in course or channel so, and I was so Jim Ray, that's an so bad in the Adumbi Armenia. You be saying Asia.